course, that is the guise in which you know her. And then, of course, there's been vast change in the Commonwealth. And, of course, she was there in the untimely death of her father. She was there, and that had a huge impact on her being there, we understand. We heard about that the other night. But how have you talked to her about the changes in the Commonwealth? I mean, and how much did she see that that was the way ahead for so many countries?
I think that a lot of commentators on international affairs remark about the fact that many of these countries that were former British colonies, on becoming independent, still stayed within this family of nations. And that, to me, was a large testimony to the pragmatism and the leadership that the Queen provided as head of the Commonwealth. She was able to reposition the Commonwealth from an imperial Anglo-Saxon organization to one that was recognizing multi-ethnicity, the multiculturalism, the diversity within the modern Commonwealth, and embraced and celebrated that, and allowed the countries to manifest a new destiny and a new identity, but still within this family of nations.
And Barbados had it became a republic in 2018, obviously got its independence in the 60s. But I wonder, is the Queen still welcome as what now? Not necessarily as a monarch and as a friend.
Well, yes, she is revered across the Commonwealth, and regardless of whether countries are republic or not, she is recognized as this icon of the 20th century.
So, as an icon of the 20th century, does the Commonwealth rest with her? Does the fact of the Commonwealth really, it's in her possession, or is it in the general British monarchy? What I mean by that is, as more and more countries become republics, as is inevitably going to happen, and the nature of the Commonwealth must change, not all Commonwealth leaders will have the residual affection when it comes presumably to Charles or William. It'll be a different kettle of fish.
Well, in 2018 at the London summit, it was agreed that Prince Charles would succeed her as the head of the Commonwealth. So there is that transition and is that continuity in terms of the role of the royal family. What will happen post-Charles is possibly, and we anticipate, a long time down the road, and it's hard for us to predict what happens.
Tina Brown, for the people you spoke to about your new book, what do you think the relationship going forward would be with the Commonwealth?
Well, I think it's in slightly tricky waters at the moment, and the question really is whether or not Charles is the last, the last monarch who will be, will be the head of the sovereign realms, or not. Whether in fact it will sort of be quietly put to bed in his reign, and then Prince William, when he becomes king, I suspect that he will not take that role. Whether it happens before, is to be seen. I could imagine actually it happening very quickly, as a matter of fact, because the Queen, is such a revered figure by the Commonwealth countries. I mean, she is loved, she's respected, but one does get a sense that it's all kind of waiting for her to no longer be with us, at which point I don't know that the same reaction is going to be there for Charles.